Hello, I'm Mohsen Jamal and you watch Afghannews. British Prime Minister David Cameron is to announce the withdrawal of at least 500 troops from Afghanistan by the end of 2012, following a similar drawdown by the United States, reports said Sunday. The move would take the number of British troops in Afghanistan below the key figure of 9,000 and mark a major step towards Cameron's stated aim of having all British soldiers out of the country by 2015. Cameron would announce on Wednesday plans to withdraw up to 800 troops by the end of next year, the Sunday Times reported, but the Sunday Telegraph put the figure at 500 and said they would leave in mid-2012. Britain's Ministry of Defence said that some troops would be brought home early but refused to confirm details. The withdrawal is in addition to the pull-out of 400 British support staff by February 2012 announced by Cameron in May, 200 of which have already left Afghanistan. The United States military is rapidly expanding its Central Asian supply routes to the war in Afghanistan, fearing that Pakistan could cut off the main means of providing American and NATO forces with fuel, food and equipment, the Washington Post reported. Experts said U.S. officials prompt news media reports such as this one every time tensions erupt in the U.S.-Pakistan relations. On Sunday, the Post recalled that Pakistan's temporary closure of a major crossing into Afghanistan in September, resulting in a long jam of hundreds of supply trucks and fuel tankers, dozens of which were destroyed in attacks by insurgents. A senior U.S. defense official said the military wants to keep using Pakistan, but the Pentagon also wants the ability to bypass the country if necessary. With landlocked Afghanistan lacking seaports, it said Pentagon logisticians have limited alternatives. 3 policemen were wounded when a roadside bomb went off on Sunday in the capital Kabul. Interior Ministry said an explosive device was hidden in a traffic police cabin in Demazang Square. The ministry said in a statement adding that 3 policemen were wounded. No group has claimed responsibility for the attack yet. Officials in northwest Pakistan say militants have attacked a police checkpoint, killing 3 police officers and wounding another. Authorities say the insurgents struck before dawn Sunday in Shangla district of the troubled Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province near the Swat Valley. Taliban militants took control of the scenic Swat Valley in 2007, but the army launched a major offensive there 2 years ago and pushed the militants out of the area. Pakistan's northwestern tribal region is considered a stronghold of Al-Qaeda in the Taliban. U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton met with Spain's Prime Minister José Luis Rodríguez Zapatero and King Juan Carlos on Saturday on the second day of her official visit to Spain. After meeting with Spain's Foreign Minister Trinidad Jiménez, Clinton arrived to Moncloa Palace to talk with Zapatero about Afghanistan, the Arab Spring, the Middle East and the economic situation. At the end of her meeting with Zapatero, Clinton headed to the Zarzuela Palace to meet with King Juan Carlos. Clinton will meet the leader of the main opposition, Mariano Rajoy, before returning to Washington. Exit polls in Thailand are showing the party allied to ousted Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra winning in a landslide. Contrary to pre-election polls and analysis that predicted a tight race, Yingluck Shinawatra's few Thai party won an absolute majority in parliament. 3 exit polls showed the few Thai party taking more than 290 of the 500 seats. The big loser appears to be the ruling Democrats led by incumbent Prime Minister Abhisit Vijayjiva. The elections were the nation's first since anti-government protests by the former Prime Minister supporters last year led to clashes in which more than 90 people died. Hillary Clinton, the U.S. Secretary of State, has said Muammar Gaddafi should resign instead of issuing threats after the Libyan leader threatened to attack European homes, offices and families unless NATO stopped bombing his country. Clinton added in Madrid on Saturday that the pressure on Gaddafi is mounting and the rebels have been gaining strength and momentum. NATO said on Saturday that it was increasing the number of airstrikes on western Libya, an area largely under Gaddafi's control. In a telephone address announced through loudspeakers to thousands of supporters gathered in Tripoli's Green Square on Friday. Gaddafi warned the NATO-led alliance to establish war support or face catastrophe. Meanwhile, the African Union on Friday said it will not execute an international criminal court arrest warrant issued for the Libyan leader. Syrian President Bashar al-Assad has removed the governor of Hama, one of the provinces at the heart of the ongoing protests, according to state television. The sacking of Ahmed Khalid Abdelaziz was announced on Saturday, a day after more than 400,000 people reportedly returned out in Hama city, demanding the ouster of Assad and his government. The opposition has deep roots in Hama, a city of 700,000. This comes as Syrian forces killed 28 civilians on Friday, a day of massive anti-regime rallies. More than 1,360 civilians have been killed in the Assad government's crackdown on pro-democracy protests since mid-March, according to human rights groups. And that Eurozone finance ministers have agreed to disburse a further $17.41 billion to Greece, with the final details of an additional aid package to be worked out in the coming weeks. The 17 Eurozone ministers decided over a conference call on Saturday that the fifth tranche of Greece's $159.6 billion bailout will be paid out by July 15th, pending International Monetary Fund approval. The IMF is due to meet on July 8th to discuss the bailout. Evangelos Venizelos, the Greek finance minister, welcomed the announcement, saying it strengthened the country's international credibility. According to the statement, the precise modalities and scale of private sector involvement in the second aid package will be determined in the coming weeks after further consultations. And that's all for now. Thanks for staying with us.